Hey, I'm Sal at Decco Ranch. Today, one of my friends, Hemi, is coming out with his brand new Royal Enfield Int650, otherwise known as the Interceptor 650 everywhere else in the world. I've seen it, but never been on it, and he's going to let me ride his bike.
How are you doing?
Good. Oh, yeah. What a pretty bike. Have they had them in the States before this?
Yeah, they had classic 500, 350.
It's a pretty
they had
bike.
Classic. They weren't that popular, so they come up with a new lineup. So those were the classic Bullets and the Thunderbird. So they come up with this new line about 3-4 years ago.
The Interceptor 650?
Interceptor 650 and the Continental GT, so they are like a twin. So
yeah.
GT is the cafe racer, so this is the more classic.
How long have you had it now?
2 months?
2 months?
3 months.
And you've had fun with it?
Oh yeah, it's a lot of fun.
No windshield. I thought you put a windshield on.
No, just a fly screen.
Okay, so tell me about your bike. What kind of a ride does it give you?
Oh, it's a fun ride. The whole concept of this bike is enjoying the ride. It's not about technology. It's not about looks. It's a nice looking bike, very modern classic, but the ride is so pleasant. Of all the bikes I tested when I wanted to buy them.
And which bikes did you test? And I know you rode the Rebel 500.
Rebel 500.
You rode the Street Twin 900, didn't you?
Yes.
The Triumph?
Uh-huh.
And it resembles the Triumph a lot.
It does.
In the retro look, in the pipes, the exhaust.
It's a classic British design.
It's got that.
So yeah, they when they started, so this is one of the oldest companies who make bikes.
Do you find that it's zippy, or is it just a solid bike?
It's just a solid bike. It's zippy after 5,000 RPM.
Really?
Then it's
Did it get zippier?
Then it gets zippier.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
It's responsive enough because all the torque is low end.
Yeah.
So, but the gear ratio is divided enough that it has power throughout the RPMs. So when I came here, I was doing.
Were you on the freeway?
On the freeway. So 75. I think the closest I went was up to 80.
And then how
there
did
was a lot of traffic, so it handled nothing, no issues with the bike, just the wind push, and I didn't notice anything funky from the bike.
So it handled great at 80 miles an hour.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because some
No
bikes,
issues
like
at
the
all.
Harleys, they start getting a little shake to them.
No, there was no shaky.
Some of the Harleys.
I had this loose mirror, so.
Oh, loose mirror?
Yeah, this mirror was loose on the way here, so I basically just pushed it with my thumb. It stuck there. There was
but that's
no vibrations. No vibrations in the mirror. Very minimal. There is a certain character to it. There is a feel to it. When you sit, you feel the thumb, but you don't feel the vibrations. You don't feel the shaking. No.
How's the responsiveness? Is it light to the touch?
The bike, when you're going to sit down at first, you're gonna think that it's heavy, but once you get going,
you don't feel it.
You don't feel any weight at all.
How much does it weigh? It doesn't weigh that much.
It's not. It's 475 pounds wet,
okay.
I believe.
Okay. Oh, key. Oh wow, it's got a little purr. The pegs stick out. Okay. My first time riding, the Royal Enfield Interceptor. It's an easy enough bike to ride. You know, it felt heavier initially, but it feels lighter now once it's on the road. It feels like you could throw it around pretty easy. You got plenty of room on this seat. It's not something that's too powerful. It kind of reminds me of the Rebel 500 in that respect. You know, it's light enough, but I bet this thing's nimble too. Waiting for Hemi behind me. He's on the Rebel 1100 manual. Oh my gosh, this is a narrow bike too. It seats very narrow. So it is more like the 500, the Rebel 500. The dials, of course, are old style retro. Hemi put the fly mask on it. Push it a little. Yeah, it's more like the 500. It doesn't have a ton of get up and go. It's got to get up and go. I'm sure it's a trier, like the 500 is a trier. The 500 will just work its heart out for you. And I'm going to drop it down here because I don't know this. Oh, engine braking is big. I hope Hemi tests that 1100 out because it'll blow you back. This is not going to blow you back. It just has a steady pull. I got to say that fly screen helps a lot. Woohoo! Yeah, I like it on curves. So it's got a lot there, and it's very responsive, but felt really good coming out of that curve. It felt very solid. Third gear, and I'm a little, oh gosh, at 52 maybe? 52 miles an hour, and it's just cruising fine. The RPMs are a little bit over 4,000, maybe 4,300. It's good. It's very responsive, very light and responsive. Man, it feels a lot like the Rebel 500. It has a gear indicator. I'm not seeing it. I like seeing the RPMs. It's got a very light sound too. It's definitely not a threatening sound. But I like the bike. This is a fun bike. It's a great starter bike. He is right. So what Hemi said, as it gets up around that 5,000 RPM, that's when it really starts kicking in for power, and he's right. So the first two gears are kind of short on it. The third is much longer. And this is third gear. Okay, so I've got it right around 60 there. I didn't want to push it. It's a newer bike. He's had its first service, but still, I didn't want to push it too much. Drop it to fourth, and it's automatically in 4,000 RPMs. So that third gear is a long gear. And Royal Enfield's been around for a zillion years, just like Honda has. Longer, I think. Oh, you know, the seat is very comfortable. It's very comfortable and smooth. So it's got good suspension. It's not a real bumpy ride, or either that or the cush on the seat is great. Squeaky brakes. It's got a lot of stability, and it's a nimble bike. It's just running so nice. Okay, so we're in a bumpy stretch. I know it's bumpy, but it's not too bad on this bike. I know how bumpy it is, and this bike's doing a great job. This bike has got good suspension. The seat feels great. And it's a long seat, so if you're taller, you can just push yourself back more. Not a big deal. So if you're looking at getting a Rebel 500, a Honda Rebel 500, and thinking what else does it compete with, this is it right here. It's got a lot of get up and go there. It's just not a lot of torque. but it's sufficient. It's plenty sufficient.
This one is very forgiving bike.
Yes.
So
Just like the Rebel
yes,
500, rather.
Yes, yes.
It reminded me a lot of the 500.
Yes.
And it's a taller bike, and that initial discomfort I had when I first got on it, it was my feet, my legs hitting those pegs.
Exactly.
And then once I adjusted, then I was fine.
Exactly.
Yeah, and then it was easy.
Yeah. If we compare the Interceptor with GT, which is the twin, that is much more nimble than this one.
Really? The Continental?
Yes.
Really?
Yeah. Because you were leaning forward.
Oh, it's a sportier bike.
It's a sportier bike, and it's easier to navigate. This one is more like it wants to go straight, but it's nimble enough that if you have to swerve and all that, it's very easy to do.
Okay.
So
super comfortable seat.
yeah, seat. The seat after 50, 60 miles, you do feel a little. There's a touring seat that comes on the way. That's a even better, more comfortable.
The one you
than
want?
This one. The one I want. Yes.
Are they known to be super reliable, the Royal Enfield?
Yes. It's fun to ride. It's,
yeah, it is fun.
And it's
and you don't have
value
to worry
for money.
about it.
Great value for money.
And thank you for coming out today.
Thank you. It was fun.
It was fun. Until next time, ride safe and keep your horses moving.